All right, warriors, time to balance and breathe. Let's begin with a nice march here, letting our arms flow naturally by our side, finding our perfect posture, lifting our crown up towards the sky. We can continue at this pace, or we can go ahead and pick up our pace a little bit, really feeling the warmth that we're building in the body. Great job. Let's go ahead and take a wide stance here, doing some overhead reaches. Light little squat, big reach overhead. Light squat, reach to the other side. If you want some more intensity here, you can always increase the squat. If this is feeling good, let's go ahead and stay with it. One more reach to each side before we come into our first balance exercise. Grounding into one foot, we'll lift the other and begin some ankle rolls. If we need a little help with our balance, we can always bring arms out to our sides here. And then we're going to switch directions with the ankle. You're looking good. Last one before we switch sides here. Again, grounding down into that stable foot, lifting and beginning our ankle rolls. Last one, and switch directions. Last one before we go into our swan dives. We'll inhale, arms up overhead, exhaling, swan diving, sweeping the arms down, and as we inhale up, we'll add a calf raise. Exhaling down, inhaling up, calf raise. Remember to keep your core nice and engaged here, and sink in fully with the breath. Let's do one final rep here, all the way up, calf raise, great. Take a little bit of rest, shake it out if you need to. Let's prepare now for a squat with an overhead reach. Inhaling down, exhaling all the way up. Following this pattern, really sinking into the body, shifting the hips back in our squat and reaching high with our reach. One more rep here. Great job. Shake it out if you need to. And from here, we're going to step back to a wall if we have one. If we don't have access to a wall right now, doing this in open space works as well. Let's find our neutral spine posture. Exhale, arms reaching up overhead. Inhale, sweeping down. If you're using the wall, you may not be able to touch the wall the entire time depending on your shoulder mobility. That's okay. Come away from the wall as much as you need to. Last rep here, exhaling, hands up overhead, inhaling to release. Preparing for twisting crunches, we'll bring the arms up, not against the head, just reaching high here as we twist from one side to the other. Really using the abdominals here, using those obliques or your side abs. Think about where you'd grab somebody if you were going to tickle them. Get those obliques working for you. One more each side here, and a little bit of rest. For our balance work, we'll begin by spreading our toes wide and really grounding down into one leg, checking in with our posture and lifting. Remember to breathe here. We want to do a few ankle rolls or maybe some calf pumps. We can do that. If we need to bring arms out to the side or even overhead, feel free to choose the modification that works best for you. One more big breath here, and we'll ground back down with both feet. Take a second to shake out those hip flexors, and we're doing the same thing on the other side. Wide toes, stable leg, core engagement as our hips are in nice alignment and we're pulling the foot up here. Maybe playing with, again, some ankle rolls, some foot pumps, or just a solid hold. We do want to check in with our hip alignment here, making sure we're not hiking into that hip or dropping down, but keeping nice and level with an engaged core, open chest, and head reaching up towards the sky. One more deep breath here and rest. Let's start our second round of inhaling, arms up, Exhaling, swan diving down. And when we come back up, adding the calf raise. Great job. You may find this a little bit easier than you did on the first round. Your body's nice and warm. Feel free to increase range of motion or intensity as it feels appropriate. One more rep here. You're doing great. Finding our stable stance and our strong base, we'll go into squat with an overhead reach, using the modifications that work best for your body in this practice. Last rep here. Perfect. If we're using a wall for our angels, let's go ahead and find that now. Beginning with a neutral spine and an engaged core, we'll exhale, arms sweeping up overhead, and inhale, arms back down by our sides. Repeating this pattern. We do want to remember to keep our ribs nice and low here. Again, exhaling, arms up, inhaling, back down. Let's also check in with our neck, making sure it's nice and long and relaxed. Sometimes these chest and shoulder exercises can sneak up on you in ways you don't quite expect. Last one here. Great job. Preparing for crossbody crunches, no pulling on the head here, using the hands just as a guide. Elbow to opposite knee, using our core, using the breath to engage even further. One more, each side. Great job. We will be working on some balance next, so if you need a little help, maybe grab a foam roller or even the wall if that's available to you. Anything you need to make yourself a little more supported here. Rounding down, we'll lift the opposite leg, coming forward, side, and back in a star drill. The important thing here is to make sure that our hips stay upright and in nice alignment. Think about your hips as a basin where we don't want to spill any of our water. One more in each direction and walk it out. Good job. Grounding in our other leg, using our help if we need it. We'll begin swinging forward, side, and back. Same thing on this side, remembering to keep the pelvis upright, the basin holding all of our water. One more each direction before we head into our cool down. Let's do some neck rolls here, gently letting the head roll from one shoulder to the other. Not pushing anything here, just finding a comfortable range of motion for where our body is at today. One more to the side here. Coming back to neutral, we'll lift and begin overhead reach. Nice big side stretch here. Switching from one side into the other, slowly and controlled. Great job. We'll switch sides and we're going to hold this one. Really sinking into your breathing pattern, inhaling through nose, exhaling through mouth. Great job switching sides here. Last breath before we come back to neutral and begin our standing cat-cow. Exhaling like a mad cat, inhaling to our cow position, flowing gently with the breath. Last breath before we go into our forward fold. Feel free to support on the legs here. If you'd like a little more intensity here, go ahead and drop all the way down, cross at the elbows, maybe take a gentle rock, or even nod the head yes and no. Last breath here, we'll bend deeply through the knees before coming up to standing. Great job, warriors. Let's take a few more breaths just to ground ourselves and congratulate yourself. You did it.